So I'd like to spend a few moments talking to you about the accounting and tax aspects to consider when you're preparing for selling your business. This should help to maximise the value that you get out of the business and also help the whole process to go as smoothly as possible, which should help the speed at which the transaction completes and minimise the costs for all parties. Now, some issues for the buyer. I think it's important to understand what issues the buyer may be concerned about, because that could impact on the way they arrive at the price or the extent or nature of the warranties and indemnities that they're going to ask for. So if you've got an awareness of these as the seller, it's going to help you in the negotiations. Sort of a flavour of the areas where they could be concerned. If there have been some restructurings, if there's then a sale of the business within a 6-year period, there can be tax charges that come into play. So you may have undertaken a restructuring in order to sell the business, but then when the buyer buys it, there could be a tax charge arising. So obviously you want to avoid that. So making sure you're aware of it and taking advice and avoiding that happening, structuring so that it doesn't happen, is important. Similarly, if assets have been moved around in particular property, then there can be a stamp duty charge if there's a change of ownership and assets have moved within the group prior to the change of ownership. The change of ownership can also lead to the extinction of any trading losses that you brought forward within the group, so it's important to understand that and the impact that that's likely to have. If you are currently not paying by quarterly instalments for the business, and only larger businesses pay their corporation tax in quarterly instalments, the buyer may find that they have to start paying quarterly instalments because they're a large group, and that could impact on the way in which the cash flow works, the working capital requirements, and it may impact on how, therefore, it may impact on how they want to pay the price out to you and the timing of that. So understanding that is fairly critical. If you're a business that applies for R&D tax credits and tax relief, there could be a difference going into the buyer's group because they may fall under a different regime and not qualify for the same level of tax relief that you qualify for. Again, understand that, make sure that it's not going to impact on the price. And a couple of other areas, transfer pricing, it could be critical if there's international trading, so they may well need to change the pricing that's applied to supplies from the UK to other businesses in other jurisdictions. So again, important to understand the impact that's going to have on the profitability of the business. And there can be an impact on the level of tax relief that you get on interest that's paid by the business.